you Happy New Year. I want to hope that you have been able to sit down with yourself and have your resolutions or set goals for this year. And that's what we are going to do again in relation to public speaking. My name is Dan Mugera, as you have heard, and greatly honored to have you this evening. And we are looking forward to a tremendous year. We have prepared great topics this year to engage with you in the first half of the year, all the way to June, and then in the second half of the year. And we want to believe that you will be provoked, you will be challenged, even as you grow in this area of public speaking. Because at the Africa Center for Public Speaking, we are passionate about public speaking. Our motto is equipping to empower Africa. And we want Africans to grow and get to that place where they can speak from their heart, they can deliver speeches extemporaneously. So to start us off today, before we venture into the topic of the day, I would want to engage two gentlemen who are part of the Professional Speakers Course January class that is ongoing. And this week is actually week 3. I have with me here Macharia Mahinda and also Stefano. I saw Stefano. Stefano, are you around?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. Maybe you can put your video on, Stefano, for the time being that we'll be doing this time of testimonial. I simply want them to give their testimonial, share their journey of public speaking, because this guy is purposed to be part of the first class this year, and we've been working with them. Maybe we begin with you, Macharia. Just introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And then also, Stefano, you can also introduce yourself. To you, Macharia.
Thank you very much, Coach Dan. Macharia Mahinda is my name. I'm in the profession of real estate and development. Mostly we do development, consultancy and construction. And I'm in the first cohort of that. So far, so good. This is our 3rd week, if I'm not wrong. And it's been a very interactive session, I will say, especially for us who attend physically. It's very interactive. It's a class of people who are also learning, so you don't feel as if you're missing something or scared. But I would say, as a business person, I joined this class so that I can be able to pitch my potential customers and also potential investors in the business. And in that process, I've come to learn not just the public speaking, but also the process of preparing myself before doing a presentation, because most of it used to be in my head, but never took time to write it down, to jot down my notes, my thoughts, and everything. But so far, through Dan and his team, it's been a very good time for us. And for me, yeah, I've grown. I know I've grown.
Thank you, Macharia, for that testimonial. Stefano, Mary Wanjiko, maybe I would want you to mute yourself. Kindly mute yourself. Stefano, kindly tell us what you do, and then I would like to hear from you, Stefano. How was it when you came in to the class, and where would you say you are right now by this week 3, as far as your public speaking skills are concerned?
Thank you so much, and good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be part of this webinar this evening, and I hope you can get me clearly.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I'll start by saying, when we started, I remember there was a question that was asked, how was your year been? And I said explorative, because I had intended to be explorative this year. And I decided to venture into the field of public speaking. And I remember when starting this course, I took it because I had realized something about myself, that I was good at speaking, but then I needed to sharpen my skills more, because I remember when I was telling people at home, I'm taking this short course in public speaking. Many people will ask me in Swahili, Stefano, kwani haujui kuongea? And I will tell them, no, it's not about just speaking, but I think it's time I sharpened my skills and I added something to what I think at the moment I know. And so after joining the class, at first, of course, those stage frights were there, and the struggles of structuring your speech and simply just how to go about your speech. But after 3 weeks of studies, I have seen a steady growth, and I can say I've picked a lot. Even simply, I'll highlight one thing: the art of storytelling. I think I've learned a lot from it, because I realize I had burdened myself so much with the content in terms of a speech. But right now, I realize that I can spice it up. I can spice it up a little bit by giving stories. And actually, one thing I've learned is I don't have to take so much time trying to cram things, because even by that simple act of saying that story, I can actually make a speech around that story. And so it isn't me a little bit when I'm on the stage, because I don't have that fear of, oh, I'll forget this, I'll forget that, because I have it clear in my mind just through that story. And so when I get on the stage, I have that nice flow of ideas, because I've easily up and I can easily relate with it. And so for me, it's been a nice experience so far. I've picked a lot, not only from myself, but even for the others that we've been engaging with. And a lot, of course, from you, Coach Dan, and also Coach Dan Orenge, who was with us the other week. And I'm looking forward to completing the course and hopefully use public speaking as an asset in my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Macharia and Stefano, for being able to share your testimonial about your journey of public speaking. So, Macharia and Stefano, they're part of this professional speakers course, which we usually take only 10 people to be part of the course, and they still have 2 more weeks to go, because it's a 5 weeks course, and Mills will tell you more about it, so that you also may want to consider joining the course. Public speaking growth plan. That is our topic today. Growth is not automatic. The first time I stood before a mature audience to deliver a speech was when I was 15 years of age. Despite the anxieties, I managed them and delivered a speech that lasted around 15 minutes. And from that time, I realized that I was passionate about influencing the world with words, even though I was already an accomplished musician by then. I was studying music, and I could sing, I could play several instruments, but I wanted to influence the world more through words, in the art of public speaking. And I remember when I made a decision to get into speaking as a professional, one time I was about to cross the ferry, because I was born and brought up in Mombasa, on the other side of the Indian Ocean. That is a place called Likoni. And I was just about to cross the ferry, and I was holding a book by Steve Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And there was a lady next to me. Little did I know that the lady was a principal of a high school, and she asked whether I could assist her with the book so that she can read. And I told her, I remember, that we actually teach people also the principles that are contained in this book. And she asked me, would you want to come and speak then to my students? I said, yes, that's what we do. That was the beginning of a journey to interact with high schools and share great messages and motivating the students of high school. Before long, corporate organization began to open up. And I remember my friend and I, we were so young, and one time we were invited to speak to the Kenya Bankers Circle. And when we arrived there, later, after we had done our job, one of the officials said, when I saw these young people, I wondered, what can they really tell us? But now we realize, do not judge a book by its cover. Passion of public speaking has driven me to invest so much in this particular area. Behind me, you can see my small library. I've invested in books. I've invested in training both locally and internationally. I have paid money to be coached and trained so that I can be resourceful to other people. That leads me then to the first point. If you want to grow in public speaking, you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. Most people think growth is automatic, but for those of you who think you will automatically grow, most definitely you will not grow. There is nothing that is automatic. You got to be intentional if you're going to grow in this particular area. You have to plan how you are going to do it so that you can be able to move in the right direction. So be intentional. Be intentional. And say to yourself, you know what? From this month of February all the way to December of 2025, by the time I complete this year, I want to be on another level as far as executing my messages is concerned. And so you will have to really call yourself into a meeting and reflect on what exactly you want to achieve as far as this art of public speaking is concerned. But the second thing that you want to consider in your growth plan is investing in knowledge. You simply being intentional is not enough. You got to move to the reality of destiny by being pragmatic, to invest in knowledge, to invest in knowledge. Well, what do I mean by that? You will need to invest in public speaking and communication books, and making sure that you read to understand. You read and jot down some points that you deem them to be fit to help you in your growth progress. But another thing that is very key, you will need to also invest in training and coaching. You will need to invest in training and coaching. And this webinar is here to provoke you, to know that there is potential inside of you. And yes, you can come out to become the best version of you by the power of communication, but then you need to invest in training and coaching. Some of you might need to consider, depending on what you're doing, the professional speakers course or the executive coaching, or signing into seminars, both nationally and internationally, that will improve your ability to communicate. One of the questions I usually ask my students, I know most of you have gone to college. I ask them, did any of you do a unit called The Voice? And they say no. And I ask them, why is it that you go through your education process being prepared for a career and nobody will tell you the importance of the voice? Lecturers who come in and use their voice to teach you, you'll be expected to graduate and go and sit before an interviewing panel to convince them that you are an expert and you should be given an opportunity. You are a professional, you should be given an opportunity to work in that particular company. Grow in your leadership to the top as an influencer through using your voice to influence people. but nobody teaches you on the importance of the voice. Let me tell you this, that is true training and coaching in the area of public speaking, that you get to understand the importance of your voice and how you could have great ideas, but if you say them in an unsympathetic manner, people will refute your ideas. That you may have great expertise, but if you don't master how to strategically align your thoughts and communicate effectively, then you miss the opportunity to influence your world. It is said that some of the best thinkers are not leaders. Why? Because they cannot communicate. And today we have a lot of people who are great thinkers, but they cannot communicate. And because of that, they miss the opportunity to lead in their corporate organization, in their communities, in their religion, and even in the nation at large. So I challenge you, with all your financial plans this year, plan also to invest in training and coaching. I have invested a lot in training and coaching. I remember when I landed in Orlando, Florida in 2019 to complete and graduate in my certification as a certified speaker, coach, and trainer with the John Maxwell team. I paid a lot of money in addition to getting an air ticket and accommodation to simply go there and get equipped and get certified. You may not need maybe to go all the way to that length, but you may look for a program right here in this country that can equip you to become the best version of yourself. I don't know whether you are satisfied with the way you communicate or with the way you do presentation, but if you are not satisfied in your growth plan this year, I will challenge you to consider investing in training and coaching. Consider investing in training and coaching. And if you need assistance, we are here to talk to you. We are here to make sure that you get the best program that is affordable to help you become the best version of yourself. And the third thing that is very important is practice, 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 practice. One of the things I even tell former students of the Africa Center for Public Speaking, that you may acquire knowledge, you may invest in books, you may invest in training and coaching, but if you don't put that knowledge into practice by looking for opportunities to speak, if the opportunities don't come by, or create your own opportunities to speak, sooner or later you begin to rust. Why? Because speaking is an art. Even though there is an aspect of science behind it, speaking is largely an art. And if you don't use an art, what happens? The art begins to rust. The art begins to rust. So purpose that this year you will take up speaking engagements. If in your organization they're asking for somebody to volunteer to represent the organization somewhere and say something on behalf of the organization, please be the first one to raise your hand and say, I'm going to do it. If they ask for somebody who can assist the youth, maybe in your community or in your church or in your madras, to say something to the people, to the youth, and empower them about a particular area, volunteer yourself that you're going to speak. If they ask you in your family that you will represent your family on behalf of the entire family to speak in the wedding of a relative, volunteer your time and say, I'm going to do it. It is these small acts of courage that will build your confidence slowly by slowly to become an effective communicator wherever you have the opportunity to speak. I remember those early days when I took up professional speaking. Most of the presentations that I did, most of the speeches that I did in high schools were pro bono. Most of the speeches that I did in some organizations were pro bono. I simply wanted to build my profile to become a better brand so that I can be trusted. Today, I have opportunities in this country and outside this country to speak and influence the world. It takes time, it takes courage, it takes practice. What I see a lot of people doing is they want to sit down and expect that the world will come looking for you, that you are a great speaker. No, that's not going to happen. You got to get visibility out there and do something with yourself. Practice, 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 practice. There is no exchange for that. You have to put your skills. Sometimes it may not come out the way you want it. Sometimes you may feel like you didn't have enough passion. Sometimes you feel like you've missed something, or grammatically you failed somewhere. Do not get discouraged. Keep going. Keep practicing. They say practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the better you become. I'm not the same speaker I was 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Why? Because progressively I've invested in my growth as a speaker to become a better trainer, a better coach, a better speaker. And you can do the same today. You can plan and say, you know what? I want to become an effective communicator, because the world is ruled by public speakers. Whether you like it or not, the world is ruled by public speakers. And the sooner you begin to understand that, whether you are in the field of science and technology, you are in the field of education, or you are in the field of business and entrepreneurship, or the field of sports and entertainment, or the field of politics and religion, the sooner you understand that, you will begin to put your best foot forward, punch the world with the best punch, so that you can get the results that you require. And I believe all of us here have capacity to do that. All of us have capacity to do that. 3 weeks ago, I was in India, and I had an opportunity to share my experience in a program that I do here socially. I think Kosam Hassam is part of that program, called the Trust Building Program, in the areas of Garissa and Mombasa. And I was able to share my heart out about the progress that we have made in this particular program. Now listen to me. You got to build yourself as a brand. Go out there and put your knowledge into practice. Speak, speak, speak. And sooner or later, the world will begin to give you a bigger platform to share your knowledge. You and me owe it to ourselves to stand out and share the message that is in our heart, to move the world and transform it. At the end of the day, what we will be remembered for is the legacy of the words we said to influence and change lives, and the things that we did. In your eulogy, one day, they will never say he had 10 cars, he had 5 houses, and he had 100 of acres. But they will say that you changed the world. If you touched lives, if you comforted people, if you spoke healing to those people who are hurting, if you comforted those who are mourning, if you inspired those who had been discouraged, and if you lifted somebody's hand, people will remember you for that. In this country, so many people have had tremendous opportunity to participate in change. But what has happened? People have become corrupt, they have looted, they have hurt others, they have destroyed other people's lives. But what they forget is that nobody's going to remember them for that. But people still remember Wangari Maathai for the small act of defending the environment. People still remember Nelson Mandela. People still remember people who went out to touch lives. and build something that was going to last. You have the words, but you want to be intentional. You want to invest in books, training and coaching, and you want also to invest in practicing by going out there and share your knowledge like I'm doing. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. Back to you, Mills.
Oh yeah, that was I'm seeing I'm seeing a lot of let's give a round of applause to Coach. Oh yeah, that was great. And now we're about to transition into the Q&A. And just before we transition to the Q&A, I just want to add something as well, just to echo something that you said about practice. Like, we cannot escape that. And there's an analogy you used when I was your student about, you can read all you want about swimming, but until you actually get into the water and start swimming, you won't really know like how much, if you can, that's your litmus paper to know if you've actually learned how to swim. And it's the thing with practicing, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, like you're on a huge event and there's a whole podium. Like you said, it could be at a family gathering, it could be in a classroom, it could also be, you're attending an event, a ceremony about someone's birthday, and they ask someone to say something. That is your chance. It could be a graduation ceremony. That is your chance. Say something to someone. You just start where you are with what you have, put into practice what already is in you, what you've practiced, what you've learned, and then that's how we grow. I've always loved that part of practice. Take every chance that you have to exercise that muscle of public speaking. It helps you with, your speech. It helps you with reading the room, and also it helps you with also just getting rid or just in the art of managing your nervousness. I just wanted to add that. Yeah, practice makes better. Macharia echoes the same sentiments. Now, at this point, I would want to welcome any Q&A question that we might have for Coach based on what he's taken us today. Maybe or it's even something you want to add on based on what he's taken us today, or a question that you have. I would want to give you a chance. Two-way, you can put your hand up. I've seen Hassan hand is up. I'll come to you. Or if you're not able to talk, you can drop your question in the chat box and I will pick it up and I'll read it out to Coach. So Hassan, Hossam Hassan, and you can.
Yes. First of all, salamu alaikum. Amani ya Bwana iwe juu yenu. Mine is a question. Mine is just to thank God, Mr. Dan, for giving me this platform. Na amenipa motisha na hamu ya kuwa public speaker na kuwa kama yeye vile alivyo. So thank God and God bless you, Mr. Dan. I'm a certified trust builder now. I thank God to Mr. Dan.
Thank you, Hossam. Thank you.
That is Hassan taking his chance, a platform, and taking it. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Hassan. If you have a question for Coach, you can put your hand up again or just drop your comment in the chat box.
I see Francis has a question. Francis, you can go. Francis?
Thank you, Coach. I'm very much happy. I waited this webinar for a long time, but let me say this evening I'm very much delighted. I'm happy. I just want to congratulate you and your team for making such a wonderful public speaking webinar. So thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you. Next, I can't see any other person who has raised their hand, but I don't know whether in the chat there are any questions there.
There are no questions in the chat box, just Salamu from Zak Noor. But I see a question from Charles. Charles asks, how does one overcome stage fright?
Right. So, Charles, that's a very good question. Now, stage fright, the word stage fright is relative, in that different people may be battling with different things that causes them to have stage fright. And so the first thing is for you to develop awareness first on exactly what causes stage fright. First, you're concerned. Because to another person, it could be personality. They are introverted. They don't like dealing with people. They like doing things behind the scenes. For another person, could be they are battling with anxiety issues, or what I call glossophobia, the fear of public speaking. To another person, could be lack of preparation. To another person, it could be low self-esteem. And so you find that to other people, they will tell you they are good when they are speaking to people that are, their peers and people that are below them. But when they're addressing people that they deem to be higher in status, maybe at the place of work, you're talking about your directors, you're talking about people that you deem them to be more educated or knowledgeable than you, then you find some people have a problem with that. So it's important, Charles, for you to to develop awareness and find out what exactly is that causes you to have stage fright. And then now we can be able to assist in helping you deal with that and overcome it in the best way possible. So we may want maybe to have an engagement to zero in into the specific issue that you are dealing with when you are before an audience. I hope that helps you for now, Charles. Jacob and Jolene, any one of you can go first.
Hi.
Mr. Dan, sorry, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to pray.
It's okay.
Jacob, you can go next.
Hi.
Hi, Jacob.
Yeah, so mine was just a question on the same. Yeah, like in the event you are given a platform now to make a speech, like okay, I'm going to speak for my case now. There is that anxiety that kicks in, like yeah, just a small bit maybe of introduction. Like how am I supposed to handle that? Like yeah, I'm given the platform, I'm there in front of all the eyes. Like how do I handle that? Because that gives me a lot of anxiety. Yeah, thank you.
Again, Jacob, you may want to invest in training and coaching. Some of the things cannot just be answered by reading a book or me informing you. You need to work with somebody in the particular problem that you are facing to be able to overcome. That's what Stefano and Macharia have done, because they had similar problems whenever they stood before people. But then they developed that awareness and realized that they need to invest in something bigger than just reading books or watching people speak in videos. You can do that, and it may give you some tips, but then the particular problem that you have, sometimes it can only be realized when you sit down with somebody to work with you. Because the presented problem most of the time is not the problem. The problem could be something else. Somebody says, I don't have confidence. But what is really that causes you not to have confidence? That's what needs to be realized, so that then you can get help to overcome that and develop your potential in the area of confidence. So I don't know whether you are able to get in touch and be able to zoom in, we'll be able to zoom in into that particular problem, because there are different things you can do to be able to develop confidence before people. But one of the things we are very categorical in is to help somebody discover their particular challenge and how to overcome it. And while challenges could be general, there are specific challenges that individuals have that they need help to overcome. I don't know that whether that helps you, Jacob Mulan. Right, Julene?
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kemunto. I think, firstly, to thank Mr. Dan Guerra for that wonderful introduction. But my question is on what you have just spoken about and the need to have adequate training and coaching. What are some of the packages that Africa Center for Public Speaking has currently, and how can we join in to be part of that cohort? And also, is there any discount for students, as I am one?
That's a good question, and Coach Mills will answer that towards the end, Jolene. Don't worry, just stay tuned, and you will hear more from Coach Mills towards the end in relation to that. Is somebody right, Sahim Abdi says, do you offer voice training? It's a crucial component in public speaking. Yes, we do. We have a whole unit on the voice. We were actually handling that this week. And so, yes, you will be taught through the program on how to use your voice, what we call vocal projection, tone variation, vocal charm. All that is part of public speaking, because you can never be able to develop passion and energy in your speaking if you don't know how to use your voice very, very well. So Sahim Abdi, yes, we do. Zach Noor says, my question to Mr. Dani, I am someone that is very effective in writing, but I struggle to even form a sentence when I'm speaking English. This makes me look like an amateur. How can I improve on this? I'm only 18 years old. So that's what we call glossophobia, the fear of public speaking, Zach Noor. And the solution to that, or the antidote to that, is practice, practice, practice. So you might need somebody to work with you. You might need to invest in training. And it's good that you are sincere at your age, because if you can get it at your age, believe me, the rest will be history. I was coaching ex-cons today, people of your age who have just completed high school. And I was telling them the world is ruled by public speakers. And if they can develop their communication skills right now, even as they go to college, then they can raise up to become people of influence faster than some people have been able to achieve in their years. Because most people battle with this glossophobia all the way to their 30s and their 40s, their 50s. That's when they come to a place where they feel now they need help. So Zach, think about that. Think about investing in that. Damaris Kanana says, if one wants to reach out, you kindly share your number. All that will be done by Coach Mills. Good. Thank you, Jacob Mulandi also. So I will be glad to join the trainings. Coach Mills, back to you. I don't think there's anybody else.
Okay. There's just one more comment from Ruth. She said, thank you for the invitation. Very powerful story and such an important emphasis on how public speaking is needed everywhere you go. Thank you for that, Ruth. I don't know if you're leaving anyone out. If we are not, then we can transition to the other section where, like you've promised, I would share about the programs that we have and how to enroll. And as I do that, I see Masharia Mahindu has added and said, I can attest that the training really works. Thank you, Masharia. That's our student. And then Ruth adds and said, honored to have sat under your voice. Thanks. Wow. Karibu. I see Francis' hands is up. Francis, you can go as I share. You can ask.
I think Francis had already asked. It's only that the hand is still up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see my screen, Coach? Confirm.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So, yeah. So again, like we mentioned, we are the Africa Staff Public Speaking. Our core business is transforming lives through perfecting the art of public speaking. And we do have several public speaking programs that we do offer. We have one, the most popular one is the professional speakers course. This one, it rolls out every 5 weeks. The current class started, I think now they're in week 3. They started 3 weeks ago, but don't worry if you missed out the class. The next class is starting on 24th of February. These classes, they run for 5 weeks, 15 sessions in total. So they normally meet every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's usually a class setup with a maximum of 12 students, 10 in class and 2 virtual slots for those who are not able to join us in person. Now, if you are really struggling in public speaking, or the idea of talking in front of people makes you nervous, or maybe you are in leadership position and you want to just be a better leader by the way that you communicate, this class would be ideal for you. Right. Also, if you're a student, this is good, especially if you want to practice with a small team or a small community of people who are in that journey of public speaking. This class will be the class for you. How much does it cost? It just for your investment. There's usually a 3,000 registration fee and that 5,000 for the class, which you can pay in 2 installments or you can pay as one. We also have the regular speakers course. That is a one-on-one. Maybe if you feel like the timing may not work for you, you may not fit your schedule into 6 to 8 or a Monday to Wednesday program, but you just need to fine-tune your art of public speaking. You're not really that terrible, but maybe you want to perfect your, sorry, I've used a very harsh word, not terrible, but if you just feel like, you're not so bad in public speaking, but you master the art, or you just want to maybe learn a few, like you have a very personalized need, then we have the executive speakers course. It's a one-on-one. It works with your schedule and the coach's schedule. It's a bit longer. This one is 8 sessions in total instead of 15. It's very customized. It's very customized to your schedule and also your needs. And yeah, it said it's the executive speakers course. Yeah, and for that one, it's usually there's a 3,000 registration fee and 65,000 for the class. And then we also have the regular speakers course. Regular speakers course is also like the professional speakers course based on your needs, but instead of a class setup, it's a one-on-one. But this one also has less modules than the professional, and it's also 35,000 for the session, and the administration fee is 3,000. If you feel like one of those 3 packages that work for you, we'll be glad to give you more information. I'll give you our contact details in the end. We also have in the public speaking courses, we have the foundational speakers course, and this is for kids. Maybe if you feel like you've struggled as an adult and you're like, man, I wish I went through a class when I was younger. We have a class for kids between the age of 7 to 17. We have a class where we help kids perfect the art of public speaking at an early age, be able to express themselves. Maybe it could be kids who are shy, it could be kids who are talkative, and you feel like, this talkativeness this kid has, I wish I could hone it. That's the kids you're looking for. Or maybe the kids are in a leadership position and you just want them to just nurture that gift of leadership by even being a better communicator and a leader. This is the course. Or maybe you're just looking for an extracurricular activity you'd want them to engage in on Saturdays, just to help them with their personal skills. This is a great program. When does it happen? It happens every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon at our offices. We're located in Luther Plaza. That's in CBD along Nyerere Road. We started the class last Saturday, so this coming Saturday will be our second class. It runs for 12 Saturdays. We normally have 12 sessions for this, but last week we just had introduction, so the coursework is going to start the coming week. So if you have a child, or if you're a guardian or a parent to a child who you feel will be perfect for this class, we would love to have them. I'm going to share the details at the end of the class. Other than the public speaking programs, you also have leadership development programs. Now, if you're in leadership position, or you're aspiring to be in a leadership position and you want to perfect, to show up as a better leader, we have the Perfect program that is going to help you work on the leader within, who you are as a leader, and also the leader to others, like the leader outside, how you show up as a leader to others. So if you are aspiring, or if you feel like this is a program you'd be interested in, we're going to share with you more details. We also have some personal development programs on self-growth. We have some other tailored programs that, the list is long, and if you're interested in any of the personal development, we're going to share some more details about our website, and also how you can get in touch with our admin for more details. And also, one of the other special programs that we offer is the job interview preparation skills. Now, here's it. If you struggle to express yourself in interviews and you're tired of getting your foot in the door but never translating into a job, this is it. Or maybe if you are preparing to get into a space where you're going to be attending interviews and you feel like you're so green, you don't know what goes in there, you don't want to fumble, this would be a nice program for you. All right, so those are some of the key programs that we have. And also our coach, Dan Mogera, who was our speaker today, is an author and he's written 2 books. One, Public Speaking from the Heart, and also Eradicating a Poverty Mindset. And if you'd want to buy them, Eradicating a Poverty Mindset comes in a soft copy version and also a hard copy versions. And the Public Speaking from the Heart is a soft copy. And if you want to grab any one of these products, you can just do that by either writing to us at info@publicspeakingtc.org, or you can send us an SMS or a WhatsApp chat to the number on the screen, that is +254 734 300 900. And someone asked about, do you have something special for students? We don't have something special for students, but we normally have something special for people who take up the time to come and join us on these webinars. We know you could have been anywhere doing anything, but you joined, you saw our poster, you saw our call for webinar, and you responded. And for that, we like giving a 10% discount just to encourage people to act on whatever program they feel like they're led to want to enroll it, to just encourage you. There's a 10% discount on the public speaking courses. So if you'd want to enroll in any of the public speaking courses, any of the 4, including the one for the kids, there's a 10% discount for you, but it's valid for 48 hours. How you can do that is just text us or email us with the text subject, just say 10% discount code with the program that you want, and someone from our team, Mary, who's our admin, she's going to reach out and tell you how to activate that code. Also, if it's the books, there's a 10% discount on the book. So that's that. I hope I've answered the questions that we had. Also, if you want to visit our offices, we are located at Luther Plaza. That is along Nyerere Road. If that doesn't ring the bell, we're just right at the Luther Church at the University Way roundabout. Uko uptown, Uko Mile GPO. That's where we normally are. And I would you can come to our office, talk to us some more, visit our classes, or you can also call us and text us on the number on the screen, or you can visit our website, www.publicspeakingtc.org, to get some more information about our programs that we offer, and also maybe just to get a better feel of who we are and what we do. So that's that from us today. Where are we? Here, I'm here. Let me stop sharing the screen. That's that. And I am so happy. I see we're still here. Sometimes when you're talking, you're not sure if people left you talking to the screen. But thank you so much for being with us until this very moment. Yeah, we had a purpose to be here for 1 hour, and I say I have 2 more minutes. And I just want to say thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. Just apply what you've learned today. And the first step is just you have to invest in yourself. You have to work with people. You have to be intentional about your growth. And I'm hoping to see you guys enroll, and I'm hoping to just witness as many people as possible just become influential with how they speak, how they show up. And it's a great honor to be part of that journey. If you signed up, I'm going to send an email. We're going to send an email again, just recapping what you've mentioned today about our programs and the discount. And also, if you registered, we have you in our database, and we always purpose to have webinars every single month. So check your inboxes, and we're gonna see you on the next webinar, I hope, and bring a friend. So with that, I would want to close this session, and I wish you a lovely night. And it would mean the world to me if you told me good night before you left the group. So you can just unmute and tell me good night as you log out.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.